Good morning, children. Today we will study lesson Helen of Troy. So, first of all, understand who is Helen of Troy. So, here I am going to give you the introduction. Helen of Troy, Greek Hellene in Greek legend, is the most beautiful woman of Greece. She is also considered as the indirect cause of the Trojan War. The war is considered to continue for approximately 10 long years. So Helen is the name of a princess. She is a Greek princess and she is considered as the most beautiful woman in Greece. Greece is the name of a place. And because of her beauty, there was a war which is known as the War of Trojan or the Trojan War. This war continues for approximately 10 years. So let us read the chapter. Long ago, a Trojan prince kidnapped Helen, a Greek princess. He took her to his city, Troy. At once, a great king named Ulysses set sail with many other Greek kings and their armies to rescue her. So, the story begins and it states that there was a beautiful Greek princess. Her name was Helen. She was kidnapped by a prince, and this prince belonged to a kingdom known as Troy. So, because he belonged to Troy, he was called the Trojan prince. So, he kidnapped Helen, and after kidnapping her, he took her to his own city, whose name was Troy. Now, when the Greek king, all of them get the news that Helen has been kidnapped, so all the Greek king they set together to rescue, to save Helen. The leader of these Greek kings was Ulysses. So Ulysses with other Greek kings, he went to save Helen. Ulysses and the other soldiers came face to face with the Trojans outside the city. The Greek men fought bravely, but the Trojan army wasn't their only problem. The city of Troy was protected by huge walls. So what happens? Ulysses and his soldiers they went to the city of Troy, and outside the city they fought with the Trojan army. Now these Greek kings, that is the Ulysses and his soldiers, they fought very bravely with the Troy army. But the Trojan army, it was not their only problem. They have to face one more problem, that the city of Troy, it was protected by huge walls. That is, the boundary of the Troy city was protected by high walls. These walls were very strong. These walls were very high, so they were not able to enter the city. The Greek armies fought the Trojans for years, but they couldn't get into Troy. After hundreds of battles and thousands of injuries, they still hadn't rescued Helen. But Ulysses was not going to give up. He thought of a cunning trick. The next day, the Trojans awoke to a surprise. Outside the city walls, the Greek camp had disappeared. In its place stood a giant wooden horse. Now, this war between Greek and the Trojans, it continued for years. That I have already told you that approximately for 10 years they fought this war. So, but they Greeks were not able to get into Troy. So, what happened? A lot of battles were fought daily, and thousands of injuries were happened when they were fighting. But they were still not able to rescue Helen. They were not able to rescue Helen and take her back to Greek. But Ulysses was very brave. Also, he was very intelligent. He was not going to give up. Give up means to let it go. So he was not ready to let it go. He thought of a cunning trick. Cunning means very clever trick. So he thought of a very clever trick. Next day, when the Trojan army woke, then they saw that outside the city walls where they used to fight the war, there no Greek camps were standing. So the place was completely empty. All the Greek camps have been disappeared, and no soldiers were there, no camps were there, no weapons were there, nothing was there. Only in its place, a giant wooden horse was standing there. A wooden horse was there in place of everything. Every single Greek ship had vanished too. We have won, shouted the people of Troy. So when the people of Troy, they have seen that not even a single ship of the Greek army is there. So they thought that they have won the battle. So they started shouting and they started the celebration. They started shouting that we have won the battle, we have won the battle. So that is all for today. The rest of the chapter we will continue in the next video. Hope you have understood the video. Thank you. Have a great day.